G'day everyone, and welcome back for some more Scrapyard with some spiders. Trying to get at me inside there, but they can't. That's right, you can't hurt me, you can't hurt me. I mean, you can block me on the stairs, which is kind of annoying, but you can't hurt me! Last time we were here, I managed to build a little M-arm OS crane, which could probably be improved a little bit beyond where it's currently at, but I'm pretty happy that it does what I need it to do. I probably should add the pistons in today so that it's got that extra reach. But last time I also mentioned that I'd kind of like to try and build a large rover. So part of the part of the reason behind that might well come down to, well, I've sort of built a small rover that's really effective, so time to build something bigger and sillier. But also, I haven't been able to come up with something that I like for the front of this rover. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with it. Like, I knew what I wanted to do for the functional layout of this, but from an aesthetic point of view, I'm like, I don't know. But if we're going to go large grid, it doesn't matter. So there's that. Oh wait, I need some missions. Need some missions. So let's head on the way up. No, Dankon, you've got that back to front. Function follows form in my books. Alright, oh, how much money do I have? I think it's... Oh yeah, I've got 53k, cool. Let's get some salvage contracts. Are any of them even remotely close? Or are we going to be doing some driving? Oh, we're going to be... Really? The closest ones are 81 kilometers away? Really? And it's just reset? Ugh. That's so bad. Man, I hate that I can't control this as, like, at a mod level. You cannot control how far away these things can spawn from the trade stations. It's anywhere on the planet. Or off the planet. Those are your controllable settings. Just like, Do I go for another circumnavigation? And just pick up a bunch of these. I suppose I could. Oh, there's one that's 48. Hang on. Hang on a second. Now there... Oh, maybe it refreshed while I was looking at it. Cool. Alright, so we've got a 48, a 46, a 42. Alright, those seem like they could be worth getting, so we'll accept that. We'll accept that. What's the bet there? All three in different directions. I'll take on the 67 just because it's probably going to be somewhere in that direction as well. Alrighty. Now, let's have a look at which way we want to go. So we've got a 48 that way. Yeah, these are kind of across the pole, and then the 67 is in the other direction. Okay, so we can ignore the 67 for now. Let's roll. See what scrap we managed to pick up along the way. One of the things I felt a bit different, that's felt a bit different in this compared to my previous Scrapyard plays, is I haven't felt like I needed specific blocks. Like, I remember every other time I've played this, I've chased down specific pieces. The cargo containers I have been kind of chasing down. And I'm wondering what changed. Like, I think part of it is just this Arcadia map is so flat, you get much, 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 much more stuff. And so you don't really run into that situation where you're like, oh, I'm missing out on this. But I'm also wondering if I messed up the balance of components and blocks in the new scrap that I added, and that could be contributing. So I'm not sure as yet. But I'm thinking that could be part of it, that I've maybe made the new ones a bit too generous on some parts, that it's feeling different. And Nomad is a bit harder to compare because you do play quite differently. It's true. It's kind of the constant moving does mean you run into more scrap and more bits. There's less backseating here than in Vintage Story. I mean, I actually don't really know how much backseating there is during the Vintage Story streams, because I'm mostly just talking rubbish with Shaq, and it's only when we run into a proper roadblock that we're actually looking at the backseating. Which is possibly why some people are describing it as frustrating. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah. But don't worry, there's plenty of backseating that happens here in SE, even though, in theory, I should know what I'm doing. In theory. Is this just that? This is just that. Okay. I should have cleared out this when I was here before. Is this the same one I was actually at? Maybe not. This might be a duplicate. There is a lot more room for teaching in Vintage Story. This is true. This is true. Yeah, I suppose when you've got a base, you have... I was just thinking about the base side of things. When you have a base, you have a lot more, you have a lot more need for duplicate parts. So you need the large grid version of something and the small grid version of something. You need the stuff on your vehicle and the stuff on your base. When you've just got your moving base, that stops being a thing. No, the SE2 event controller is thoroughly bugged. At least for me. It's totally busted. Yeah, I suppose that's the other thing. I have a lot of fun, and I think I'm not gonna do Nomad again for Scrapyard, because I have a lot of fun bringing things back home. That's something I take a lot of, like, I gain a lot of fun from. Things like dragging the wind turbines back home, dragging various bits up onto your base, and bringing even whole chunks of other bases home to be more of your base. That stuff's really fun to me. And I think the Nomad style kind of takes away from that. Nomus, if you're curious about how wheels work in SE2, have a look at a very great little post that was put in the Discord this morning by Jesse. Ooh, saved it. It explains, having looked through all of the actual code, having decompiled it, it explains how wheels, you can't see them, but I'm using air quotes, work in Space Engineers 2. Yeah, that Quonset hut looks like a good bit of salvage, exactly. That sort of thing. Nomad kind of takes away from that. I discovered the hard way that if you claim an abandoned farmstead, it'll still vanish eventually with all your stored components. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little worried about that. So, I might... I'm not sure I have a solution to it as a problem. I sort of do for the salvage sites, but I don't really for any of the other spawns that you might come across. Keen is so aggressive at deleting these things that even if you've claimed the PCU, even if you've hacked the thing, unless you actually change the grid ownership by merging it to a new grid, I don't know if there's a way to make it your own. And to stop it getting deleted when, say for example, the salvage missions, when the mission gets turned in. So for the salvage missions, you just don't turn in that mission, and that can be your base, and it will never ever ever go away if you've claimed the PCU for it. But for the random encounters, the workaround, I feel like I need to do some playing around to see if there's a thing that could be done with merging it to an existing structure, that sort of thing, that might maybe work even as a static grid. Because static grids can move a little bit if they need to snap to another static grid. So there might be some little things we can try that I would love to test to see if it can be done, but I have a feeling the only way to do it would be to have a grid with more blocks, because as I understand it at the moment, the way that merging of stuff happens in SE is static grids take priority, and that's regardless of block count. But if you've got two static grids, I think the one with more blocks takes priority. And that means, you know, placing a few hundred blocks to get a building, which doesn't really work. It's not great. Oh yeah. Thank you, Beldenick. Thank you very much for the 5 gift subs and the 400 rainbow unicorns. Thank you, Infamous Ronan. Thank you for the 18 months. And thank you back for the Prime sub. So I'm not sure, like, if you guys thought of any workarounds that might be feasible for taking ownership of these things. I think what I'm going to have to encourage people to do is don't establish your base on another base, but rather take parts of it and merge them onto your own base somewhere else. I'm afraid that, yes, it'll happen even if you turn off cleanup. Yeah. I think that's possible. Because I get the impression that cleanup is just for random grids. There's a separate thing that's done for NPC grids. Which is an unusual thing for Keen to have copied from MES. Because MES did that too. Thanks, Lever Mongo. Thank you for the Prime sub. Copy-paste would absolutely work, yes. Creative mode copy-paste would work. Because that would give it a different... I think it's like an entity ID, for want of a better term. I need a code mod if you're fighting against the existing systems. Yeah, and I might have to ask for some help for a code mod for the PC players, but console players won't be able to use those. So it'd be nice to have something that the console players can do, but I think this may be one of those things where it's just not going to be feasible to have a unified solution for all platforms, and that PC players will just have a cleaner solution, then the console players won't. Yeah, you kind of have to slice bits off the parent grid. So yeah. Could the services terminal be used to copy-paste the grid in question? Probably, but also the services terminal does other things that ruin Scrapyard, so don't mind me as I can't think of words to say while my trailer is far in the air. I was trying to continue to talk through that, and it was really difficult. That was a lot. I know I'm going 70 meters a second over the ground, but I really don't want to be driving for the entire stream, and with these spawns being so far away, I didn't really have a choice but to get there as quickly as I could. The services terminal has so many things. Now, I'm hoping that Keen might give us some more control over the services terminal so that I can, say, make it only able to do some basic functions, but the trouble with the services terminal is if you can build one as a player, the easiest way to get scrap from your base, from where it is to your base, is to store it in the services terminal, drive home, pop it out again. And that's a bit lame. So I've disabled it, and I don't intend to, I don't intend to enable it unless I can very carefully restrict what I can do. So one of the things that I wouldn't mind it being able to do is to scrap grids, and only scrap grids, not be buildable by the player, but it can scrap grids at the trade station. So you can bring chunks of stuff there to sell off. Because I feel like since I don't let the trade stations buy steel plate, that's your only way of making money from steel plate, is to build up big chunks of stuff and then sell it to them. Now, sure, some people can abuse that by building their own scrap to sell, but the amount of effort that goes into building your own scrap, I'm like, yeah, go for it. That's not my problem. You can do that, that's okay. But yeah, I'll be in the next video, my SE2 Trek video, I will definitely be addressing what Jesse's posted in Discord, because it's really interesting information that I think explains a lot of the edge, well, not really edge cases, but kind of edge cases, but a lot of the behavior that's been observed so far with SE2 wheels. But I'm going to have to close Discord so that doesn't distract me. Minimize that. Exactly, Johnny. I completely agree. Worrying about possible abuse of a system, except for the most obvious ones in SE, is a waste of time. Yeah. Because there's so many ways to cheese. I just try and get rid of the ones that are low-hanging fruit. So it was the same approach that I took with whenever I've tried to more aggressively push Keen in a particular direction. I've aimed for low-hanging fruit. So the lightning thing. Super low-hanging fruit. All it was them adding a simple toggle and defaulting that toggle to off. The mods that did it were super, super simple, so I knew that Keen could do it with very little overhead cost. And so pushing them to do it, I was like, this is low cost, but high value. The other stuff, some of the things that, you know, might irritate you, some of them are much higher cost, so it's like, well, pushing them to do that's not going to be... it's not likely to be successful, so it's not worth it. Yeah, Treadway, that would be exactly the sort of thing that I don't want as the default experience in Scrapyard. You have a nomad-style run, no fixed grids. I use the services terminal to deploy my workshop when needed to keep my travel vehicle from needing to be a full base. Yeah. And look, the way that I restrict blocks in Scrapyard is very, very easy for you to bypass if you choose. All you have to do is press Alt F10, enable creative mode, paste the block, and it's yours. That's the other big advantage of using restricted components, is that it's that simple for you to bypass anything you dislike and create and make the setup your own. Ladders and female engineers were a pain to get from Keen. The interesting thing about the... Yeah, female engineers, I did lend my small voice to it at the time, in a small way. But I was more... The thing that it... As someone who didn't have an interest in actually playing as a female character, but wanted to have female characters for our machinima and things like that, it was a perfect example of doing a thing the internet wants you to do, which is people are angry at you when you haven't done the thing, and then people are angry at you when you do the thing because you didn't do it soon enough. It's like, oh, come on. At least give them something. For finally doing it. It's like all the times I get comments on YouTube videos saying, finally! What do we have here? Hey! Oh, awesome! First scrap, new scrap. Check it out. Look at this. Oh, yeah. We have 2 grinders. I am going to steal both of those. What else we got around here? What's a truck have on it? Not a lot. Where's the... I wonder where the loot's gonna be. I'm gonna have to repair these so I can hack them off. I can't remember who made this sawmill. It wasn't me. I can't remember who made it, but it is a very cool little sawmill. And the use of the this style of grinder, the Type 2, as a sawmill thing, it's really nice. Hey! Got the thing too. One grinder. Let's get the other one. At least it's in the forest, would seem out of place in the desert. I mean, it could be why there's a desert. You don't know. Stick them on the front Mad Max style. I mean, what I'd love to do with grinders, if I'm going to a large grid vehicle, is have a grinder crane set to just be able to plow through all of these things that I find. Alright, claim them, that's right. Like, make myself a collecting arm and a grinding arm. Grinder crane versus spiders. Alright, let's have a look at where I should store this after I have a quick meal of claying crunchies. Ow. My mouth is bleeding. It tastes like bleeding. Alright, I need some more spots to put stuff. Yeah, arms for everything, make it into an octopus. That actually sounds kind of fun. Not something I think that's doable really with a small grid, because you don't have enough counter mass in different directions. But I could totally see a large grid with an arm on each corner of like a square, and you've got 4 arms each. Rather than having different tool heads, you just have a different arm. Okay. Let's go one there. One there. Let's use the crane. Because I can. Maybe. I don't know if the crane will be able to reach that far. Because I haven't set it up with the pistons yet. Oh wait, I don't actually need the ramp, do I? Okay, I need those pistons, don't I? Okay. Okay, what did I name the pistons? They're not named! I haven't named them! Wait, what did I name the other things on this? M-arm. Piston 1A. Piston 1B. Piston 1C. Piston 1D. Now I need to move it closer so I can reach it. What? Piston 2, 2A. And 2B. And 2C. And now we have the fun. Putting it into this. Okay. So, we've got rotor 1, rotor 2. I don't think it matters whether it goes before or after this solid. Though I kind of want to check my cheat sheet to see what Frosty did. Frosty's gone. Ah! Really need to be off the jiggly bit. The jiggly bit was not fun. Ow! Get out of my way! No! No, no! Say cheese! Boo! Sabroids do like to appear when I'm in menu, this is true. Yeah, I don't think the pistons matter in their relation to the solids. So, how do I throw the stuff? So with grabby hands, what you do is you press R to grab by default, left to hold, and right to throw. While holding down left mouse button to stabilize, you can tap right mouse to throw. No, don't stand on the jiggly bit while in that menu. That's not fun for anyone. PB compass. PB. Okay, dokie. So we need to add these pistons in. That means I'll put them in here. Bar P1 equals new piston. Ugh. Typing all this out. Axis said. I think it's just axis. That's all I need. Yeah. Pistons are a bit easier to set up. Now that I know how to do them. So we go that. We have 4 of them. So that'll be P2, P3, P4. A2, A3, A4. Whoop. Then we go rotor and then we have more pistons. This will be P5. A2, sorry, B1. P6, P7, B2, B3, and now I just need to add those into this equation down here. So we go after R2 plus, I don't need the spaces in this, so I'm not going to do them anymore. P2 plus P3 plus P4, and then after R3 plus P5 plus P6 plus P7, check that I haven't messed anything up, and now apparently I got this wrong. I did them 1A, not A1. That's what I did wrong. It was 1A, B, C, wasn't it? Oops. That's not good. That was me pressing P because I was thinking I was searching for the pistons. Thankfully, that only applied to my main grid, which has nothing on it that is attached. Okay, so we fixed the names. Probably would have been easier to change the actual piston names, actually. A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, and B3. Okay, now let's see how this works. Oh, heck yeah, look at that reach! Oh, yeah. I pressed P and I did not like it! Though thankfully it didn't actually do anything bad. That bad anyway. And grab. And up. Oh, I love this. How good. The thing I really love about this is that I love playing around with cranes. I actually really enjoy that part of Scrapyard. And I think when I do my proper actual Scrapyard play, it's gonna have weak grabby hands again. I think for live streams it's good to not, but I think I'm gonna have weak grabby hands again because this is just... I miss it. I miss how much crane work I had to do, I think, as well. Like, thinking about the stuff that feels different here than in my previous series, and that's one of the things that definitely sped things up. Because I was working in small grid only, I really didn't run into any issues with grabby hands at all. Oh yeah, I've got full movement of the head. See? All this. I've now put it in a weirdly unpacked position that I'm not sure how to make it not do, but whatever. It'll be fine, probably. It's not going to get in my way, right? Oh, no, that worked. Oh, that works quite well. Okay, that'll do. Packed up enough. And that seems like my cue to get the cheese and then get out of here. Oh no, I missed! Oh no!
Inbound.
Come back here, cheese! Oh, thank you, Jesse! And I'm guessing by the way you spelled that, same Jesse that I was just mentioning, who has helped me greatly understand my issues in SE2. Thank you very much. Sometimes I don't like to know what the underlying code does in games like Space Engineers. And then there are times where it's really, really good to know. And I think this particular situation with the wheels in SE2 is one of the situations where it's really, really good to know. Oh, geez, my health is low. Yeah, exactly. Looking behind the curtain is such a gamble. It really can be. I stopped because I'm low on ye old power. And health, I mean. I'm low on ye old health, and I would like to fix that. Let's get my health back up. Yeah, looking behind the curtain in RimWorld is what ruined it for me. And I do miss some of the stuff that I used to do in Space Engineers back when I very first started making videos for it, where I would just test stuff in-game because I had no idea where to even find that information in the game files. But the desire to do those tests is somewhat diminished these days. I probably shouldn't be going over and getting water in my water bottle while the truck's moving, but I'm sure it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong? Tree. Yeah, that tree will be fine. At least we weren't going 70 meters a second when I walked off. dear. Dan, I need more time to properly formulate my thoughts on Space Engineers 2. I've been thinking about how, like, people fairly ask me often what my opinion is on SE2, should I get SE1 or SE2, that sort of thing. And you should get SE1, or just Space Engineers for those who are pedants. But my justifications and like comparisons and all that sort of stuff, I'm sort of thinking I'm going to hold off on going into any real detail in, for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons I did the Trek series as an edited series was that last time I played SE2 on stream, I found it quite difficult not to get caught up in the comments in chat that were often fairly critical of SE2. So it took a lot of the potential for fun away. So that's why I was like, I'm going to do this as an edited thing so that I can have the play and the discussion as two separate entities. To help my own joy for it. And I was thinking that I might do a proper breakdown, comparison, my feelings on it when they release their first multiplayer. Because right now, if you're someone who plays Space Engineers with your friends, SE2 does not compare at all, because you can't play it with your friends. So it's a really, really simple argument. Once it has some multiplayer, I think the discussion around which one you might want, depending on what sort of player you are, gets a lot more interesting and gets a lot more nuanced. And that's where I kind of think it'd be interesting to actually sit down and try and write a script for a video about this and this and this and comparing all these different things and my thoughts on various design decisions made in SE2 and that sort of stuff. But I don't think right now there's much contest. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But what I was thinking is, once they've added multiplayer, then we can compare where SE2 is after 2 years after early access compared to where SE was 2 years after entering early access. Because I think that comparison could be quite interesting and enlightening. I think there's some really there could be some interesting comparisons there as I cruise across the pole here. Oh, I'm about to enter ice, actual ice. I need to slow down. Ice gets weird. I've been into the snow in this series a little bit, but not this much snow. This is further toward the pole than I've ever been in this. Am I at the North Pole? Probably. Ah. SE1 was not single player at this point in dev. Not at all. No, that's wrong, Kojava. It was multiplayer from the outset. Pretty much. SE1 was absolutely multiplayer by this point. Was it good multiplayer? No. It was so broken. Oh, no. It was usable for Capac and I, because we were on a LAN. But it was challenging for Shaq and Wasted and Morph doing their thing. Like, I think at this point, so we're nearly 2 years in. So that'd be mid 2015. That's when Capac and I started making Light Echoes. So that's the point we're at in the timeline for SE, is the very beginnings of Light Echoes being recorded and written. And that, at that stage, you couldn't actually stand on a moving grid in Space Engineers. And what I mean by that is, it'd act like so many other physics or vehicle-based games that you've seen out there where you can move around, which is the vehicle slides out from underneath you. You stay static, the vehicle moves, and then you fall off. You stay static in the world space, that is. You're not anchored to that vehicle. But it was shortly after that that Keen changed that and made Space Engineers really special in that you can stand on a moving grid and you do move sensibly with it. Yeah, you jiggle a bit, but it's still so much better than most other games handle this stuff. Triple D, I don't disagree. I think SE2 could have been... Some of their approaches make me think they should have named it something else. They should have come up with a new name, called it Almagest, and it had Space Engineers style, but it's not Space Engineers, because they don't seem to be leaning into the engineering bit all that much. But yeah, it is interesting thinking about where SE was, and I'm sure my memories of it are a little bit fuzzy too. I'm a little bit worried that I'm driving into the night right now. This could get spicy. I might need to be able to turn around quickly. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to go back and like compare the version of SE at the time when multiplayer comes out for SE2. That's something I want to do. Alright, 14Ks. I think I'll be alright to go 14Ks, but I'm thinking I'm moving faster than the sun right now. Oh, base runner wreckage. That's close. This is rough. Oh, that's really rough. Oh, man. Ow. Jeez, that craggy got deep. Out of nowhere. It's like a proper crevasse. Yeah, stealth terrain. Well, like a proper crevasse. Isn't that kind of the deal? Crevasses are stealth terrain. Oh, man. That is close. I think we're okay. Oh, hey, there's a moon over there. But one of the things I desperately want to avoid doing, and one of the biggest reasons for it is because it ruins my own fun, is just talking about all of the things that SE2 does wrong. And that seems to be what most people want to talk about when they're chatting when I stream it, which is why I'm probably not going to stream it for a while. I think what I'll likely do is the day of the multiplayer release, Shaq and I will stream it together. That's what we've talked about doing. So I'll stream it with Shaq the day that it's released, and the multiplayer, and that'll give us a bit of a feel of how the multiplayer is going. And then, and then if it's going okay, I'd really like to do an edited series with Capac. Largely because doing that with Capac feels just right. We played so much Space Engineers together, but also latency. We have like 10 ping to each other. So it helps. There's something to be said for the psychology of highlighting the bad, making the bad seem worse than it is. Yeah, it's also just, I don't want to spend 4 hours whinging about something. That's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's probably not fun for you guys either. It's just, yeah, no thanks. No thank you. Alright, when I get to this next spot, I am going to add some lights. Oh yeah, I do have some lights. I forgot. Again. I forgot again. I did that last time, didn't I? Last time I doubled down and I was like, I don't have lights. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. See, whinging about myself, that's more fun. Whinging about my own stupidity, I'm here for. Oh, I'm in the storm. I'm in a storm. I'm in a storm. I'm in a storm. I'm in a storm. Turn around. 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 No. Okay. So here we are at the pole. It's a nice view. It's a little bit dark. A little bit darker than I'd like. I don't know which way the sun is going. Okay. What can we do? Let's do some style on the rover, because, well, we're here for a little bit. So I think I gotta move these gyros, and I gotta move this programmable block, and make this into sort of a living area. And then figure out what I can do to connect that cockpit up, and make the front look a bit better. I've given Wasted enough grief over the years about his salt. I'm not going to add to the pile that you guys are throwing right now. I don't think I need to. Although, I will say, I did watch some of Wasted's SE2 stuff, because I was curious what troubles he ran into with wheels and how he was doing with it, and considering the frustrations he was experiencing, I felt Wasted held it together pretty well. Thought he did alright. What do I like about SE2? I really like the block placement. Whoever did the UX stuff for placing blocks nailed it. It's so good. It's just so good. Like, the holding down control, being fixed to a plane so you can perfectly place something. That's just, it's so clean and so easy to use and so easy to understand. you know what it's doing. There's some stuff around the blocks auto-rotating in ways that I can't figure out yet that's like, ah! But that's just because I hate auto-rotate. And it's made me angry. I was an SE player back when auto-rotate would turn itself back on every single time you loaded the game. But yeah, the block placement is really, really well done. Now, I am going to use this opportunity to actually... oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm going to do my stretches and risk the spiders coming. I'll be right back. I'm just going to do some stretches while we stand here and wait for some daylight. Hopefully... hopefully there's, no spiders that happen while I do this, otherwise I'm gonna have to quickly jump back to controlling myself. Beldenick, you're 74! See, this is what I love about the internet. Age don't mean a thing most of the time. And gaming, especially. I mean, unless you're playing an FPS, in which case age means a lot, and anyone 25 or older is old. So, you know, everyone's old. So it's one of the best things about going to PAX is you see people of all ages just being like, games are cool, man. Games are just cool. And playing games, as long as you can understand the rules, as long as you're old enough to understand the rules, you can have fun playing them. And I say the old enough to understand the rules because I have a toddler who is not. Which is why we don't play rules-based games yet. I think in the next year to 2 years, he'll start being able to understand them. But it's, yeah. And yeah, there's so many different types of games with different types of fun, exactly. Oh. Just a mechanic. I don't know how that makes me feel. The idea of a veteran playing a milsim game set where they fought. I can't imagine that's good for their, like, for a lot of people, I can't imagine that'd be good for their psychology. Oh. But yeah, the number of parents and grandparents I've seen at PAX playing with their own kids. No, Charlie, it is still dark outside. You are not going outside and waking up the house. No, the sun has not yet risen. Oh, good girl. She's curled up under the desk next to me. Hey, no spiders. Alright. Let's move these bits. Where should I put... I think I'll just put this programmable block next to the other one. And I think I've got enough computers that I don't need to worry about using merge blocks for everything. 27... Yeah, another 57, another 122, another 106. Yeah, I got plenty of computers. I don't need to worry about computers. Cool. A lot of them loved it. The stream I was watching had a Huey pilot flying, won the whole game, talking about all the stories he had. Yeah, I suppose it would depend on the person, absolutely. Some people would find, I imagine, some catharsis in it. too. Being able to like talk about things and yeah. Each person being different. Oh, there come the spiders. Whoa, 4 spiders? Oh, this is gonna need so much cheese. Ow! Huh. Boom! 1 down. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, there's so many more than 4! Oh, I killed 2 with 1 cheese. Ah! No, missed it! Missed it! No, missed it! Ah! Didn't grab it! Slippery cheese! Oh, Jesse, it can spawn far more than this. My last Twitch integration-based series. We had so many. That was actually quite fun. I really enjoyed that. Some people thought I was mad for doing what I did, but I genuinely enjoyed playing that way. Alright, well... If we can have like a wall of functional stuff here... Do I put the gyros on top of the programmer blocks? I don't think so. I think I might just move them both over here onto the battery, maybe? Or in front. Maybe I'll put them down here on the ground. No. Wasted and I are of a very similar age. He and I have pretty much... Like... It's amusing how, like, Wasted and I are both in between Capax and Shaq's ages. And we're all... Like, between Capac and Shaq, I think is just a little over 2 years. Bearing in mind that Capac is 15 months older than me. So... Shaq's the youngest, Capac's the oldest. Wasted's the second oldest, I'm the other side of that. Okay, those are moved. Now, I need to have... Because I'm probably not gonna fiddle around with this crane so that I can control it from up there, I should probably remove the control seat from up there. Since I'm not likely to use that just now. I love the way you and Capac seem to trade the hat of the old fart, depending on the context. Well, you know that Capac lives that every time he gets angry. Because he is a crotchety old fart. He's so angry. No, Spectre, that is incorrect. It's difficult because Wasted has not. Yeah. Yes, Wasted does have an older sounding voice. I wonder why. What about TFE? I think TFE is in his 20s. Just barely. I mean, his username is The Final Event 97. I think you can figure out the rest from there. Basically, he's young enough to have his... to have that. He's 97 years old? Yep. That is correct. Yep. Exactly the fool, with your 76 in your name. Yes, yes. This is how this works. I don't need to carry all that ammo. That's way too much ammo to carry. Cumbrian, I think that's one of the kindest redos of TFE's acronym that I've seen. Toddler forever excited. Because I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't think being excited is a bad thing. One thing I miss about timing and such not lining up with Shadow is that Shadow was always so happy about everything. And it's nice to be around that. Yes, because I have seen the ones like the fat electrician, yes. Because yes, there are nicer versions and not so nice versions of people's acronyms for his name. Oh, that battery's out of charge. Oh. Just doing a little bit of tidying up around here while I wait for day, but I'm also just going to quickly check if I need to turn on the engines. Oh no, we got... It's just the charge is really weird between all the batteries. That one's got 640, 640, 640... Oh, wait, is one of these off? It's red, so it... Oh, there's a hidden battery. There's a hidden battery. Oh, man. Hey, Matcha. Dang it. No, Capac works in the kind of retail where people come and ask him stupid questions. And I so wish I could see, like, I could be there to hear his response to some of them. Because when he tells the stories about it, he sounds so angry. I'm like, I really want to see if you actually manage to keep any degree of calm here. That. Ah, mirroring. That's another thing that SE2 does well. I'll give you guys one thing that I think does feel a bit odd with SE2. Its pacing is all over the place. I don't know whether it's trying to be a slow burn game or a super smooth game. It's just all over the shop. And the thing about saying that is, I don't know if SE is the same or not, and I've just been beaten into submission over the last 10 years. Diver Bishop, I didn't figure out the wheels, but someone else did, and Jesse, who's just in chat above you, did, and I will be sharing that info in the next video. And completely redesigning my rover as a result. I think I'm going to have to go that to cover up the suspensions to make it look a bit tidier. Yeah, Barabas, there is that thing, and I wonder how much is the craving for a particular experience based on how much you've already done in the game. So, obviously, a lot of us have played a lot of hours of Space Engineers here, and so I want a slow burn experience because I've done the things quickly a bunch of times. Sometimes I want the quick experience because I want combat, but if I want engineering, I want the slow burn most of the time. I'm gonna make those grey. Yeah, it's looking a bit tidier. No, Ball, it's not. You can't use the large wheels, no. If you want to go to the Discord, you can see what Jesse wrote up. I'm not going to read through it right now because I think I need to read through it in at a time when I've got time to fully understand it and try some things as well. But yeah, it's all there if you want to have a read. Yes, slow burn, slow flip, high fall. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the mod to allow me to build pistons and rotors without going to space, yes. Because I would have had that in the game if I'd known about that particular limitation before I started playing that series, I would have added that mod, yeah. No question. Can you imagine me playing an engineering game without the mechanical blocks? Oh, well, I never. There we go. Huh. Okay, so that's looking a bit tidier back there. I'm gonna go see if I can drive a little bit closer to the destination. Or whether whether the sun's actually catching up to me. You know, Barabas, I never actually really got to the point in KSP where I was playing with the mechanical blocks. I think the Kraken was just a little too... Actually, I know exactly the circumstance that happened. In KSP, I made a massive Minmus mineral extractor. And I got to a point where I had no backups that were recent enough where that didn't explode. I cannot drive up that. Let's see if there's another path. But it does look like daylight has moved forward for me. Yeah, I can't be Captain Subgrid without subgrids. It's true. Like, I don't think there was, like, for me, I don't think there's much working around. I'm just stuck with a single static grid. I think it's just, I'm just stuck with a single static grid. If I'd chosen that as a restriction, A single unified, singular grid. You know what I mean? It's not static, it's mobile, but whatever. I think, I think what I was intending to say was clear enough, probably. But yeah, KSP2 burned me out with the amount of time and effort I'd spent. Like, this was a multi-launch thing that I had constructed in orbit and then shipped to Minmus, and then it all just exploded. And the next time I came back to KSP was before the KSP2 launch, where I managed to, on stream, get myself to Mars and back, which is one thing I'd never done because of said Minmus base exploding. Because that Minmus base, I had this big plan to do, like, alright, I'll build a big rocket, I'll refuel it at Minmus, escape velocity from Minmus to get into Kerbola orbit is not too bad. I'll have plenty of fuel, I'll be able to build something huge that goes to Duna and back. And then, yeah, I just went, nope, I'm done. Well, looks like I'm not getting any blocks from this one, unless I can grabby hands them down, because there's no way I'm walking up this. Let me up. Oh. 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 That's not healthy. I don't think I'm getting the grinder blocks. I really hope the grinders aren't where the loot is. Do I have a drill? I'm not carrying a drill. I gotta go back down and get a drill. It is a weirdly natural looking avalanche here because of the mottled stone and snow textures. No, weirdly, I think I've got a chance of actually getting the part back. We'll see though. I'm gonna try. These are exactly the sort of situations I need to be testing. I'm gonna put that on there, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this rough terrain is not good for fighting these guys. Wow, there are so many more of these at this pole. Okay. Dealt with. Back to the drill. And maybe it'll be easy to walk around this way. Or maybe not. Oh, actually, yeah, it is heaps easier. Yeah, let's just check the truck first, because I think that's going to be easier. Nothing in that. Let's check the other seat. I have to pop the voxels out because otherwise, if there's something in this seat... Oh wait, this one can be repaired. If I ground it down to create the drop box thing, it would drop through the world. Okay, so nothing in there. That means it's got to be in the grinders. Which I can access. But I don't have the parts for! What's got small steel tubes around here, so I don't have to go back to my truck? Do conduits have small steel tubes? Yeah. Okay, nothing in that one. So we've got to dig up this one. And grind down the other one. Huh. Hey, there we go. Right, I'm out of here. This is this is what space engineers considers flat terrain for spawning. And there's nothing I can do about it. No. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and save those grinders. That feels like a way to get a grinder to explode in my face. That one does tell a story though, it's true. I don't mind working around those restrictions. It just amuses me to point out that that's what SE considers flat. I'm not annoyed about it in any way, it's just funny. Yeah, apparently the code considers anything with 32 degrees of slope to be flat enough for a spawn. So that's 30... you know, 3.2 meters of drop every 10 meters. I know a lot of people really hate the Craggies. But I think they provide a meaningful function in SE. Which is to restrict movement for rovers. And I think they do a decent job of it. I don't like the fact that you can't mod the Craggies other than making them stronger / weaker. Yeah, that sucks. I'll pretty much always agree that it would be great if modders had the ability to poke more things. Like that. Just because we can see the potential of some of this stuff when modders, like, even the economy stuff. Keen opening that up has let me mod it and do some fun stuff with it that I didn't think was going to be possible. Like, the more they open up to make that easy, the better. If you can have someone like me getting in there and making something, then I think you're doing pretty well with making something usable on a modding sort of basis. Building, I wouldn't give myself such harsh critique, but when we're talking modding, absolutely. And I'm back in the thunderstorm. And I'm out again. Now I've got to go around this mountain, so I'm going to try and see if I can skirt the edge of the storm. SE is really good for modding. The dependencies stuff they do through Steam, you go and mod another game and you're like, oh, SE ain't normal. Craggies are the de facto engineering problem. If you can't go over them, you build around them. Yeah. And so I like the Craggies. The trouble with the Craggies in implementation is not the Craggies themselves, but rather the degree to which they are present on the vanilla planets. So Craggies on Mars are probably a little on the light to too light side of things. Craggies on Earth and Alien are very much on the too heavy end of things. But there's a sweet spot there, and I think having them adds something. Like, because these rocks, the way voxels work in Space Engineers, because these rocks would be easy to drive if not for the Craggies, having the Craggies does add something. Pertum is pretty well balanced with Craggies. Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But if you really want to see a game that I think has world-class modding support, Vintage Story. And the reason I say it's epic and like top level modding support is because they built all of the Steam Workshop style stuff themselves. Just bonkers. That you can have modding as easy as you can on Steam on something they built themselves. It's just wild. Now, am I going to go mudguards, coverings for the wheels? I don't normally go coverings for wheels. I kind of want to here so that I can feel like I've got more surface to play with. Yeah, I've not looked at Hightail and probably won't, so don't know. Am I in a storm? I'm not in a storm. No, no storm. I suppose I could actually, why don't I head back to the station, because I'm going to be stuck here for ages waiting. Let's go back to the station and see if I can start working on a big rover. I'm going to need this little rover functional, and I'm kind of enjoying doing little bits of decoration on it, but I know I'm only 14 k's from there, but I'm not going to get there anytime soon. That's going to be ages waiting. So I may as well head home, complete these 2 missions, and then see if I get some other ones. I work on a product that heavily relies on user-generated content, and it's honestly amazing it only works ever. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, one for gaming, that's fair. Vintage Story's implementation is really good. The only thing I noticed is one of the many mods are made, abandoned, then forked by someone else, and it can make finding the right mod a bit weird. Yeah, true, but their system does allow you to search by version compatibility, which does ameliorate that to a fair extent. See, this is what I was afraid about with polar regions, is that it's very easy to end up in the storm. I'm really worried I'm going to get hit by lightning while trying to get out of them. Does VS have built-in mod packs? I don't think so. Because yeah, it'd be nice if you did have that. The dependency stuff is manual, yeah. But I you know, I find it easy to give them a pass for that because I'm surprised that any of the other stuff even exists. Man, I had plans to do lots of building. The game has conspired against me. Well, I think I can blame the game. I set the game up. Blaming the game is just, you know, by proxy, blaming myself because I set this up. Yes, the best laid plans of mice and men, indeed. See if there's anything good at this scrap that's up ahead. So someone brought up scrap mechanic just before. I can't see the comment now.
Meteor storm inbound.
Shaq and I are going to give that a crack when it comes out. I am going to be terrible at combat because I'm going to make him host. Because I think that's fair. Because he deals with the bad latency for Vintage Story, so I think it's fair. Yeah, Scrap Mechanic, having not heard anything of note from them for years and years and years, I've been like, oh, by the way, now we're going to go 1.0. And I can very much understand people's skepticism of it after such a long wait. But yeah. Shaq's never played it. So I think it'll be really cool to experience that first time experience through his eyes and sharing that with him. Because it's honestly been so long since I played it that I'm effectively first time. I just remember the bouncy wheel. Ah! The bouncy wheels.
Health low.
Well, that happened.
Energy low.
Oh man. Have a feeling that I might have forgotten. Oh no, wait, that's not even an interior turret. No, never mind. That just got me. Hmm. Oh man. Food, eat something. I'll do. Yep, the hidden turret jump scare. That, you know, I built this years ago, but I still built this. You'd think I would do better. Do I need the battery? Nah. Yeah. I probably should have ducked.
Your health is low. Energy low. Energy low.
I'm distracted, okay? I wasn't thinking. That's why I didn't duck under it. I don't have a good excuse. Just what happened. There we go. What's done is done. And eat. Where are you, spider? Wow, there's still more? Five of them. How dare they spawn when you're not in a menu? Yes. What the? Ah! No. Alright, there's nothing to find here. I just need components. We got any food? Nope. This doesn't have any metal grids in it, no. You've got no food in you. Are these MES spawns? No, I haven't been to a single MES spawn today. Every spawn I've been to is a vanilla one. Well, using the vanilla spawner. It's not a vanilla spawn, but it's using the vanilla spawner. You guys know what I mean. Cut that out.
Inventory full.
Just because why not? Anything in the cargo container? Yeah, that's a fair point. The fact that there's nothing in any of the other ones makes me wonder if I forgot to add loot to these random ones. Oh. Apparently that was the only block holding that on. Whoops. Whoop. Do. Let's grab the other one. There was something brought up about this tank emptying system that would be really nice if we had some of the stuff that Stationeers has. So where I could have some sort of code that's easy for me to write. Some sort of thing with like an event controller that can say if tank and connector connected to connector, then drain. Rather than it having to be something a little more manual as it is. Because at the moment, because you can't set up an event controller to look for any particular block, it has to be that specific block. And Stationeers has a hash function to allow you to do that. I mean, like, the system I've got works pretty well without needing that, so it's not that big a deal. There we go. Quickly drained. Man, when I think about the shenanigans I got up to in my very first testing series for Scrapyard, and the ridiculous things I had to do to try and drain any tanks, because we could only convert to small grid, like, because we only had big connectors at that stage. We didn't have little ones yet. We only had, and so that meant you had to do like big connectors and then merge block the tanks down and all this sort of stuff. It's just like, oh, this is far more work than I would want to do again. I have mimiletted many a spider. I don't know why I'm getting a target reticle on my cockpit. It's a little bit strange. It's quite strange, in fact. No, I'm not going to take the battery. I've got a loose battery on the back here, so I think I've got enough batteries for now. Oh. Zoom zoom. Now I'm going to head back to the station. Oh! Oh! Poor choices were made. Oof. Can't handle that better than I thought it would. That was quite rough. Head back to the station. If it's near night time, I'll sleep through the night. If there's enough daytime, we're going to start building a large rover. So I thought I'd do the salvage missions because I was hoping that I'd find one of the new things that I've put in as salvage locations that might have some blocks that would be very useful for large grid rovers. Hint, hint, gyro. Hint. You can find them now. But that has not worked out. Oh. Oh dear. I don't think I can go backwards. That looks like it's very much in night. Oh. Poop. Yeah, looking where the sun is, it's exactly opposite to my station. So, I think I have more than one station, don't I? Yeah. Where's Wickstrom? Nope. That is not on the same planet. What about Ander? Alder, sorry. That is also not on this planet. Okay, so I just have that one option. Delightful. So I must be at the southern pole. If I'm heading towards the sun and it's northeast or north-northeast, I must be at the southern pole. Unless I've actually crossed over the pole at some point. True. I did get the small grid grinders for the new large grid rover. That's true. I got something new. We got something out of this. Is this the southern pole of winter or summer? That made me think. I wonder if you could mod the the plane about which the star rotates. So that you did have effectively seasons on the planets. Oh, okay. Maybe I've got a different idea. Maybe I need to go bigger with this and start building the large grid on this. Could that be feasible at all? Don't know that I don't know. I feel like I need to set up shop, make the large grid, and then tow this with the large grid, not the other way around. And by tow, I mean probably pick it up with a crane. Thanks, Rockwin. Thank you for the prime sub. Fun of going large grid is I don't have any large grid batteries. True, I could use my I just want to bring this Quonset hut home method and just tow it with my crane. Just lift up the whole thing. Thanks, Bad Gamer. Thank you also for the prime sub. Across the ice we go. That's the one we've been to. Size difference is ludicrous between grids. You think you can make big and small, then you see that you can't. I mean, especially, well, like you can in creative mode, but in survival mode, it's often so much of a faff that's like, nah. Nah, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that at all. That is one thing I have noticed when poking around with the creative mode stuff in S2. You can change the position of the sun quite freely because you can change both azimuth and elevation, not just time of day. Which I may have been taking advantage of for thumbnails. I should have disabled the beacon, yes. I did on one earlier and I just forgot to do it on that one. I'm just trying to get myself into some daylight, which means going around this mountain. And then I'm going to stop and have a look at what I can do for upgrades, improvements, and planning towards large grid. So I have a silly idea that might be doable, where we don't go large grid wheels. But I kind of wanted to go large grid wheels. I was thinking of having like wheel modules made out of small grid. So it's all subgrid wheel control script stuff. I don't know how terrible that idea is. Yeah, bogies basically. I've never done it before. And I don't know how... The thing I really don't know about it is how much freedom of movement do you give them? Because too much, and you'll end up with all sorts of frustrations. Too little, and you'll end up with a whole different sort of frustrations that feel kind of similar. The Bronco doesn't count. Because they weren't small grid. The Bronco is just in its... The Bronco sits happily in its own separate category that is unique and special and just weird. And I'm happy about that. Okie dokie. So if I'm going to do that and try and build some sort of large grid thing, I need to be able to make the bogies, which means more trailers. Because if I make the bogies first, I can just tow them with this truck, and then when they're ready, I position the 4 of them and start building off them in weird ways. What could possibly go wrong? Huzzah. No, Dominator, the whole subgrid wheel control script needing a needing an extra wheel on the controlling cockpit grid is something I've largely ignored. Because I have never found a reason to actually worry about it. Loads of people talked about it being important when I was doing the train in Survival Impossible, but I never actually did anything about it because it looked hideous. I was trying to get some random suspension on the thing, just look. Ugh. No, thank you. Alright. The subgrid wheel control script to enable you to use brakes in a standard fashion likes you to have a wheel suspension on the main grid somewhere, on the control grid somewhere. I'm gonna need some way to get up there. No, don't. I need a way to lower this down. Because I need a block higher. Oh, Charlie having a sleep yip. Alright, wheels. Let's have a look at what we can do here. So, if these are going to be if these are my bogies, I want the wheels to be as tightly packed as I can get them. So, I want to use short 5x5s. And I really want them with only a single block between them. Because I do need odd... I'm pretty sure I do need odd symmetry. Rather than even block number width. So that I can have the rotor or whatever contraption I use to connect it up properly. But I think I also need to go more tank style with the positioning of the front and rear wheels, so they need to be higher mounted than the rest of them. Probably want to go maybe 2 blocks higher. Yeah, like that. I think it'll be good. Yeah. The thing I'm really sure I'm really not sure about here is how I'm going to approach steering. Steering's going to be an issue. We'll go 4 apart. Oh, no. Wait, let me place the wheel. Let's lift this up. Just a touch. Left and right by turning a wheel. Well, this is the thing. I feel like this would ideally want a system where I turn left and right by turning the bogey. But I'm not sure that's gonna work. But I think maybe what Takari's saying is probably right. Go pivot steering like the Ronco had, where it has a hinge in the middle, and you just move the hinge in the middle to steer where you want to go. I think 3 wheels, 12 wheels. I was gonna go 4 contact wheels and then have the front and rear ones for the bogies. Yeah, I could do tank steering. I wonder how tank steering can... I wonder if tank steering can be done with the subgrid wheel control script. Probably some ways I can achieve tank steering. These are problems for future me. If I manage to even build this thing. Oh no, this thing's too big. I'm not thinking this is gonna have a trailer. We're going large grid. We don't need a trailer for large grid. That place right? No, that one is low. Okay, turn that off. Turn that off. Turn that off. Now we have a free spinning hitch that should allow the movements that this needs to have. I think I've still gone 4 blocks between the front and these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Now these are all going to have to be low friction. Because otherwise they will... all but one pair of these need to be low friction. So otherwise it's going to mess my handling up something fierce. Maybe I'm being dense, but how is that hitch supposed to work? So, one of the cool things about a rotor hinge rotor hitch is that the hinge will move because the free spinning rotors to wherever it needs to allow the flex to happen in whatever direction it needs to happen. Because the rotors just allow it to be where it needs to be to have the least force against it. So the hinge will naturally settle in whatever angle it needs to go to. Blame Frosty. Last week I raided Black Sheep, and he suggested this hitch to Black Sheep, and I'm like, oh yeah, he suggested that one to me before as well. I should give it a go here. And here we are. Alright, let's get the cheese. Like, I haven't got enough experience with this to say whether it's better, worse, different, and what circumstances it's better in. But I thought I'd give it a go. Alright. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I will be right back. This time we are going to pause. Because I actually need to take a bio break. It's interesting seeing you guys comment about the latency and issues on Twitch. I'm remembering people were noting that before I started doing the enhanced broadcast, so where I can broadcast 1440p on Twitch. Do any of you guys have? So I don't think it's that. But I'd be really interested to know if any of you guys have such a consistent experience with that we might be able to do some testing to see if me doing the higher bitrate stuff and sending them all the different transcodes is making the situation worse. Thanks, Spinzone, and thank you, Reaper PCs. Thank you for the Prime subs. Because there were some reasons why I had avoided for a while doing multi-streaming. So streaming both to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. But the more Twitch has issues with this stuff, the more inclined I am to investigate whether I've got enough bandwidth and whether the 4070 in my stream rig has enough capacity to stream to both. So I can just stream straight to YouTube and then not have to worry about uploading the VOD after. But there are some parts I don't like about having to stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and one of the big parts is having to do a thumbnail before the stream. It's really hard. It's really hard to come up with good thumbnails before you've even done the thing, because you don't know what you're going to get up to. It's like coming up with titles for streams is just... it's so hard. Do people just use the placeholder thumbnail and replace it after? Possibly. I can certainly see why you might consider doing that. The other thing is, I've kind of got a system that works for me right now, and I don't want to faff with it if I don't have to. Oh yeah, the issue is definitely a Twitch issue, because there are days where I cannot watch Wasted or Avac, who are both in the UK. And so there's something in... And everything else works fine, but it's just Twitch watching either of them. It's just like, nah, you're not watching any Europeans today. I don't know of... There aren't any streamers that I follow on the continent that I can compare to. But yeah. I know some people would prefer if I stream to YouTube as well. There are some business-related reasons why I've avoided doing it for a while. It would split my audience. And thus, companies would be less inclined to send me sponsorships. But I'm kind of... I've done a big mistake here. I'm kind of less interested in doing those these days. I've done a boo-boo. I need a cockpit. Hey, Black Sheep! How's it going, mate? Ah. Oh. So, talking about streaming to YouTube, I wouldn't be streaming to the Splitsy channel, it would be to the Flipsy channel if I was streaming to YouTube. These streams would just go up on Flipsy. Like they currently do. It would just go to that channel. The streams that are on YouTube would just be on... The streams that are on my original YouTube... channel would just be there, like the Wrong Way streams. They would just be on the Splitsy YouTube channel. The farm is growing. What's the deal with tossing the cheese? It's an effective way to kill the spiders without using ammunition, and it's fun. And it's silly. That's it. That's all. Would you still have chat on YouTube? Well, that's where it gets tricky. Because you wouldn't have Twitch chat, at least if I wasn't willing to break Twitch's terms of service. So what I'm doing right now is moving this back because I looked at where the hitch was and where these front wheels were and went, yeah, that's not going to work. No, the chat can't be shared. You're allowed to stream, but the chat can't be shared because you must make the experience on Twitch superior to the experience on any other platform. It cannot be equal or inferior. No friction. No, last I checked, which was not that long ago, they have not dropped that TLP. It's just a lot of people do it anyway. And don't run into any issues. I'm not going to name any names because I like... There's an American guy that I watch sometimes who does it. I think he's American. Yeah. And it is not... It is against the terms of service, but lots of people do it anyway. Let's just copy these settings. All but one set. At some point I'm going to have to remember that there is no friction on some of these. Why not just do this all at once from the cockpit? Because I've got a lot of wheels, and they're all going to be jumbled up amongst each other, and it's easier to copy-paste with build vision. Like, I genuinely find it easier. Let's see how this goes. So far, so good. Yep, just the correct wheels are rolling. Hey, Frosty! Yes, I still have that MRMOS fever. Yes. I've added the pistons to the crane. The pistons now work. I'm 100% going to rebuild my crane in Mission Improbable that I did with it as well. DAS projectors aren't restricted.
Fuel
See?
low.
No restriction on projectors.
Fuel critical.
I've already thought about that. So what was asked was with the way the new block restrictions work, is there any reason to restrict projectors? And the answer is no. And so they're not. Which I think is really nice for people who have designed something and want to be able to repair it. But yes, thank you Frosty for the 10 months and the tutorials, because I'm really enjoying these cranes. Thank you, Neo. Thank you for the Prime sub. The CEO says they don't enforce it anymore. I have absolutely zero faith in anything Dan Clancy says. Zero. They will choose to enforce it when it suits their needs. And that's kind of Twitch's enforcement strategy in a nutshell. Which is, we'll do what we want, when we want, how we want, and that's about it. Splitsy, will you be porting this mod of yours to Space Engineers 2? Will I be? No. Would I want to make a new version of Scrapyard for SE2? Yes. When / if SE2 ever gets to the point where it can support such a thing. Right now, it would be basically impossible, or close enough to, or so much work that it may as well be impossible to do it, so it won't be happening. Because SE2 doesn't have a mod API, so scripted mods aren't a thing, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's not a thing can consider in the near future. It wouldn't surprise me. Am I getting hurt every time I get out of the cockpit? I feel like I am. I feel like I'm falling just far enough to get a little bit of injury every time. Oh, yeah, Frosty. I saw what you suggested for Black Sheep to use last week, and I did this. And that is my hitch. Wait, I should probably turn these off. I turned them back on to reconnect it, and then I forgot to turn them off again once I had reconnected it. Whoops! That was remarkably stable for those being on. Okay, so we have one bogey made. Now we need another one, which means more hitch. I'm glad you're enjoying SE2, Coleman. A lot of... Yeah, I'm glad that there are people enjoying themselves. And I don't want to, do anything to make someone lose their fun in it. Even if on any particular day I might or might not be having fun. The dual rotors in the hitch allow the hinge to move freely to the position it needs to be in to allow the trailer to be where it wants to be. So if the hinge is freely able to move, it can allow bend to happen in any orientation completely freely. And it will find that position because it'll have resistance to bend in any other way. I'm sure someone with a more technical understanding of it could explain it better, but that's my best explanation of it. It's useful for specific hitches. It's not going to be... I don't think it'd be especially great. I mean, it could probably work kind of on a goosenecked hitch, but I think the gooseneck really wants a rotor on the base, and then you'd be doing more joints than you need to put that style for a gooseneck. But for a trailer like I'm building here, it works quite nicely. Ooh, spicy rocks. Alright, so how far do I really need these to be apart from each other? Probably a little bit further. And I'll start building it. So we'll go the front wheels about here. Yeah. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next wheels go there. Huh. Speaking of the occasional thing that SE2 does well, I really should put the SE2 rotation commands in for SE1 as my keybones. Not having to move my hand off the mouse, it's really nice. Oh. That's annoying. Didn't think that part through. We're gonna need to go... And then you go back. I need to rotate these so that I can get that hinge rotated the way that I want it. So I need to lift this up in the air so I can place the rest of the wheels.
Fuel critical.
270 should be right. We go up to 90. And then we make this stronger. And that should be enough. Oh yeah, Barabaz, it would do that. If you have it like that in SE, it'll always do 90-degree rotations because control and the rotate, which you would... So you'd probably need to make it like Alt and then those keys, which is honestly what I think I'd prefer it to be in SE2 as well. And I wonder if you can change that? So I feel like I don't use my thumb much when I'm doing that, and I could probably put my thumb on Alt more comfortably than I can put my pinky on Control for long periods. But it might be worth a shot, see if that works. Now I kind of want to change it in SE2 and see if it feels okay. Yeah, I went 4. This is totally... 100%, without a doubt, the best way I could have built this, right? I actually really love that this is so stupid. What wild trailer construction are you building here, Splitsy? So, my plan here is to build the bogies for a large grid construction. But because I need to keep moving, I've got to build the bogies like this first. So they'll all be in a line, the 4 bogies, and then join them up to a vehicle, build a crane and lift my original truck up with that crane, all in one stop. I think. So that I can do it more effectively. So that's kind of the process here. I'm trying to build parts for a future plan that are still attached to my current way, which is totally not a terrible, terrible idea. I'm sure it'll be fine. You should be able to use your existing crane to put your current truck on the new Rover. That's true. That is true. I didn't think about that, but you're absolutely right. I could use my existing crane to climb up onto it. And if I detached the hitch, I could climb up and then pull the trailer up as well. That's so dumb, it might just work. Now this is a bad road train because it doesn't have the... I want to say balancing hitch, but the self-correcting hitch design. So this can go very wrong. So I'll have to be somewhat cautious about how I drive. Whoop, almost knocked over my water bottle. Would have been bad. Okay, I need... Let's just weld up this center line. Just because it makes me feel a little bit better. Oh, no! No! Oh, I've done the bogies wrong. Oh. Bugger. Yeah, none of your complicated X hitches, Frosty, exactly. Ah. So, the issue that I just realized is, I mean, it's probably fine because it'll be close enough, but I should have made it so that this was an odd number in length, so I could have the bogey perfectly centered on its mounting point. It's going to be 50 centi, like it's going to be slightly off from center.
Critical.
Which isn't, which I think is not ideal, but it's going to be close enough that hopefully it'll be fine. That I don't have to rebuild them. Which is to say, I'm not going to be rebuilding them. Give me the cheese, give me the cheese, give me the cheese! Boo! Oh, I missed! Oh no, jammed it in the wheel. Kinda glad we're back to just one spider. That's right, I was getting components. It's like, what was I doing? So in theory, I should be aiming for the point where I've got 4 of these bogies attached as trailers, and then start building the mechanism to connect them and deciding on how they're going to, like, how I'm going to design their suspension. Because they're going to need, like, mechanical suspension made with hinges and stuff. I'm thinking something fairly simple is probably the best way to go. Because the more complex you go with suspension setups, I think sometimes you just find out that they just straight up don't work in SE anyway. Add 1 block in the middle, piston merge it out. Yeah, maybe. Could do that. I think I'll just leave it as a quirk. Place the connection points on the large grid quite far forwards on each bogey, then it'll look like casters on a trolley and maybe handle just as well as that. Yeah. If you were building the large grid out with thrusters and a gyro, and that was how you planned on making it move as well as making it steer, then yeah, I could see that actually potentially being an effective way of doing it. Just trying to talk. Now, there was another one of you guys. There it is. Whoa! Where did that go? The cheese just disappeared the spider. Thanks, Cutthroat. Thank you for 47 months. Huge lightning strike just as I threw that. Yeah, I can imagine that would be a nice little combo surprise there. Yeah, turning rotors to steer sounds fine until you realize I don't think there are scripts pre-made to do that. And since there aren't, that makes control a bit of a faff. And propulsion override sucks when you have to manually control it. These are lessons that were learned in the early days of Wrong Way Out. Oops. Ah. I did these back to front. I mean,
Fuel critical.
that is a fair point. You possibly could just not worry about the steering being particularly delicate and just go with, well, let's just turn 45 degrees or 30 degrees or whatever you choose and just do a big ol' aggressive steer every time. Which is a little bit how the actual wheels work. My worry with that is you're gonna end up smacking the subgrid into something that you don't want to and it'll break. We've got a couple of thrusters on there. Got a bunch of food, maybe? Maybe I should go start back here. That might make it easier. Oh, actually, if we just cut the roof off. Just trying to think of how I can get in here to cut these seats out. This is a school bus, so there's everyone's lunch in the seat. I'm going to put the next base I find on the truck. I'm not going to put any base on the truck unless I've actually got a large grid to put it on. Oh, am I stuck? Did I get myself stuck? Might have gotten myself stuck. Huh. Where's that sending me? Oh. I think that's in space. But I'm not certain it's in space. Just looking at the angle, it feels like it's in space.
Inventory full.
There we go. Can opener. Done. Don't need those.
Inventory full.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Or if your space engine is too. Inventory full. Inventory Oh. Whee! It's funny you'd say Toby's awake. I had a lot of fun yesterday. He wanted to see pretty much everything that I've built recently. He was loving the crane drill from Mission Improbable. He was loving all the vehicles from Combined Arms, as he always does. So it was quite fun showing off Space Engineers to him yesterday. I had quite a good time. Fun fact, I threw the suit lady from SE2 into the song to see how it sounds. It was depressing. Yeah, now, the weirdest thing about that is, though, Stationeers did the same thing. Redid the suit lady and made her sound really depressed. Your son is also named Toby. Oh, nice. It's a good name. Hey, Toby. There you go. It's so I don't know what it is with making suit notification voices sound depressed. It feels like the gritty TV from the 2010s after Battlestar Galactica. Feels like there's almost a theme, and I'm like, why? Why? No, my Toby is just Toby. He's not Tobias, because both my partner and I have seen Arrested Development. And just couldn't do that. In our case, we're just like, oh, no, no. No, he's just Toby. Need to make a suit lady sound like a strict hospital matron. You know what? I think I'd be okay with that, having a super bossy, sassy suit voice. You've not seen Arrested Development, that's good. That's good for having a son with that name. But I think... No, you didn't screw up your kid's name. No. No. There's just a very unusual character in that series whose name is Tobias. And if you don't have that, then you're fine. Yeah. There's sassy and then there's snarky, and I want sassy. I want something that's clearly on my side, but wants to give me grief because they can. Whereas snarky, I'm not convinced that they're actually on my side. Yeah, like I didn't mind. I minded how much they talked, but I don't mind the suit voice in oh man. Hang on. My brain is not braining. I had a news post recently. That'll remind me. Won't it? Maybe. Yeah, in the Rift Breaker. Like that's a male robotic voice, and it's clearly wanting the best for you as the character, but it's also just constantly just like, ugh, why? Can't you just be more of a computer? I don't know. I have zero memory of what the Satisfactory one sounds like. But I quite liked the Kiwi suit lady in Stationeers. I understand why they got rid of it, because North Americans couldn't understand her. But I quite liked that that gave it a unique New Zealand twist and quirk. And don't feel bad if you're North American and can't understand a Kiwi. That's just Kiwis. They messed up all they confused all of their vowel sounds, and it makes it very it makes it very difficult for someone not familiar with it. All right, I'm just trying to get to where this thing is at the horizon, and I can confirm that it is indeed in space. Yeah, Daz, I like the interchange between Riggs and Ashley in the Riftbreaker. Not when I'm streaming and trying to hold a conversation with Capac, though. It was really annoying, because I was like, I've either got to talk straight over the top of this, or I've got to shut up for the next 5 minutes while they prattle on about something. Yeah, it's definitely in orbit, this thing. They confused all of their bowel sounds. No, that's a different thing. Isn't that something that's going through the US right now? The Kiwis do some of the same types of strange contractions Aussies do. Yeah. Some of. We share a lot of cultural things. You know what? I'm not going to continue driving. I'm just going to just checking this just to make sure, because I'm close, but let's just check. Yep, that's in the sky. Okay. Off this way then. With my land train. With my road train, I should say. Land train. They're all land trains. Sky trains. Kiwis have more sheep per capita, but fewer sheep in total. But also, apparently a lot of Kiwis are just leaving New Zealand to come to Australia anyway. It'll balance itself out eventually. Probably. See, the Kiwis have done a sensible thing with the war versus birds. They fight for the birds, and their war is against rats. I think it was rats. They're actually doing pretty well. And they're combating, I think it's the... like, just the general rat, as in ratus, that they've managed to clear from substantial parts of New Zealand in order to aid their native wildlife, which is really cool. But yes, losing the war against the Australian possum, which is not great. This is handling pretty well, at least without me doing anything too aggressive. It's holding together fairly nicely. Now I wish I knew which of these destinations I was actually heading towards. Also, technical blueprints. Bye. What? Well, I'm heading west, which is the correct direction for me to head. I don't think I want to pop a U-turn. Even though popping is probably the correct onomatopoeia for it, because that's probably going to go terribly wrong. I do wonder if now I could go straight... Wait, hang on. No, I'm heading the right way. This is heading to smuggled goods because I've got 2 encrypted data. Yeah. I need to head to that smuggled goods. I'm going the correct way. Just through sheer luck. Yeah, New Zealand was great. I went to the South Island a couple of years ago, back when it was about... It was just before Toby was born. My other half and I went to South Island. It was really nice. I like to believe that most of the cheeky things Australians say about Kiwis and most of the cheeky things Kiwis say about Australians is in jest. Subgrid damage is always turned off when I'm involved. Sometimes even when it's not turned off, the game's just like, no, I can't be bothered figuring that out. You're fine. You'll get no damage to anything. New Zealand is even further in the future than Australia. It's another 2 hours ahead of me. Yeah, salvage beacons on the other side of those hills. I don't want those hills. Those hills are not going to go well for my current road train. Ah, how good does that look, though, when these things are conforming to the terrain like that? There's just something so nice to look at. Oh, I should be watching where those trees are. I just love it. I love watching wheeled stuff in Space Engineers roll over hills. I have to get around this mountain. You don't have to get nostalgic for Aussie road trains. They're still a thing. They are very much still a thing. So why so many small grid wheels with a large grid body? Why not? It's something I've not actually done before and something I am interested to try. I suspect I'm going to run into some things that'll be really annoying about it. But I thought it'd be interesting. Is it, like... There are potential advantages, like real, actual advantages to having bogey-based wheels rather than the large grid wheels. One of them is you can probably get more torque. So, because of the torque applied at the wheel suspension is the same no matter the suspension type you use, the smaller wheels apply more force at the contact point. Which means if I have more small wheels, I should be able to get more power out of the rover than if I have fewer large wheels doing the same thing. So in theory, it should actually make a difference and be better. If it can be set up in a reasonable fashion. Which is... Uh-oh. 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 Can't avoid those trees. Do not want a tree collision with the road train. The jolt that'll go through the whole thing could end up concertinaing it in horrible ways. Yeah, I suppose steering could be achieved by speed control to some extent. Yeah. That could possibly work. I was thinking I'd go more with just go really simple and put a hinge in the middle and go park script for controlling that hinge. So as I tap A and D, instead of steering via the wheels, it just bends the rover and allows me to steer that way. Because that should allow me to use W and S via the subgrid wheel control script to control the speed of the wheels and then steer with the middle. Yeah, slaloming through the trees. Oh, there was something over there. I don't know where it was, though. I might stop and make another one. I was hoping to stop at a wreck, though, because, you know, just in case I'm actually starting to run low on parts. But I think we will just stop up ahead on the snow. Yeah, that's way too far back. I'm not going 9Ks that way. Alright.
Fuel critical.
Let's add another trailer. So we need 4 of these before I can get on to the next stage. Do. Yes. Dashing through the snow on a giant rover train. This is where Black Sheep's needed, not me. Could make these ones odd length. I could. That's true. Because I could make, like, the front ones not odd and the rear ones odd. Could work. I mean, there's a part of me that wants to do a rotor on each bogie just in case, but I think steering with a central hinge is going to be easier. Although, now that I say that, Park could steer with just the front wheels, and so could MMOS, but Park is a bit quicker to set up for that stuff. If I ignore any need for Ackerman steering, I could have it so that I'm just steering the front 2 bogies and turning them left and right instead of articulating at the center of the vehicle, which is probably better, because then I can have the vehicle as one large surface, which allows it to be much more usable. So that's actually probably the way I should go. Will I make a caboose? Probably not. When do I stop adding carriages? When I have 4 of them. I need 4 carriages. I have no idea if that's long enough. The non-conveyored hinges are killing you. They have no function. Once this is built, I'm getting rid of the hinges. Like these hinges, these hitches are not a permanent fixture. They are just here to enable me to build this stuff while on the move. That one is wrong. That needs to be 5. Am I using this many rotors, hinges, and pistons to make up for the SE2 road trip? Not consciously, but who knows? Subconsciously, that might be the truth. I can totally see that being something I would do without thinking about it. Man, standing here and looking down the length of this thing's long. I don't remember what the name of the mod is for SE2, but SE2 doesn't have a lot of stuff on its workshop, so just sort by, like just search for mods, as in just literally click the drop-down box that's mods, and it'll be on the first page. The thing that changes the what's required for the mechanical blocks. Like, I've literally, during that series, just been looking at every new mod that is added and saying, oh, should I do this? Why couldn't you use pistons and rotors in SE2? Because Keen decided that you need to have a refinery in order to be able to use them. I'm stuck right now. So that means you need chromium, and chromium is not on Verdure.
Fuel critical.
At least not as a deposit, and I appear to be in a region where you don't get any of the spawns. If there even are spawns, I've still not seen any evidence that there are random spawns of stuff in SE2. I have only I've only seen the fixed stuff that is near the original starting location. So I think I might not see any spawns until I get close. I'm not sure if someone can find an actual... Uh-oh, I've run out of steel tubes. Well, this means I've got a goal. So I'm actually happy about that. But what I need to do is grab the steel tubes from some of these. And put them into the one that's going to be the one that has friction. This is good. I've actually found myself short of a material. I have also found myself stuck. Hovering. Goodbye, wheel. Oh, this is how I should have done the... I'm such an idiot. When I was doing that adjustment last time where I was trying to move the rotors around, I should have turned off one of them and just turned the other one on until it moved to where I wanted it to be. I did not notice if anyone said that in chat, and if you did, whoops. Random spawns have definitely increased after increasing colonization level. Interesting. So there probably are some, but I wonder if there are... I wonder if they're in the mode that I'm playing, because I'm not playing the story mode. Huh. The truck's driving okay. But I'm going to take a quick bio break, and I will be back in a second. Some of you miss the music. Yeah. I kind of miss it too. Can't even remember why I stopped using it as a regular thing. I think it was because of... I think it was during the phase where I was... Was it during Windrose that I stopped? It's definitely because when I stream with Shaq, he is really good at keeping on talking while I'm gone. Versus when I was streaming with Capac, who is not so much. So, like, I probably could have a separate, like, here's when I'm solo streaming, here's when I'm streaming with Shaq. But the other part is that I often ended up talking during those anyway. Like, if I was just stretching and I'm still within earshot of the mic, I'll keep talking. But I'm just not actually playing the game at that point in time. I think that was why as well, because I started doing that stuff more often. To try and keep my back as healthy as I can. To keep myself mobile and still able to play with Toby as he gets older. Whoa! Trailer went a bit squirrely then. Trailers. So I need large steel tubes, which means I'm going to be driving with these for a while. Oh, this could not possibly go wrong, could it? I like to think that Capac's inner monologue is as vocal as he is when he's streaming. I know some people like that, and they're like, would you just shut up and play the game? But I feel like that's not what I've ever wanted to do. Because for me, if I'm watching someone playing something, I'm watching to hear their thoughts on what they're up to. And I think it's one of the reasons why I've struggled to create interesting stuff in some other game genres. Because I don't know how to talk about what I'm doing. Like, I watch some of Shaq's videos on strategy games, and I'm like, oh man, that's how I should, like, that's how I could talk about some of that stuff. And then I try and do it myself, and just nothing comes out. Or I watch, I can't think of his name. There's another guy who plays a lot of strategy games that I watch occasionally, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's heaps better than the stuff that comes out of my head. When playing those games. Whereas playing something with aesthetic design and a bit of engineering, easy. The best thing about the Capac TFE panic noises in Station is you could never tell from the sound if they painted something the wrong color or if the entire base is on fire. Yep, that was certainly a thing. Oh, you're talking about the performance voice. It's different. Like, I know I sound a bit different streamed versus recorded. Especially for tutorials where I'm trying to choose very particular words. And so I think the cadence of my voice changes a little bit. And I think that's just how it is. I'm trying to think if I've actually listened back to streams and compared them to just playing along talking, and whether that sounds really different. Apparently not too many people mind, because I've only had one person be like, "Meh, you're bad, you shouldn't do this," recently. It's the customer service voice. I think it's rarely a conscious thing and more of a you're performing differently. Don't notice a huge difference. Yours is very slight. Yeah, well, I do make I try to not do it. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Like for the, but as I say, for the tutorials, I think that's where you're going to notice the biggest difference between my voice during a tutorial and my voice during a live stream. Those will be the biggest difference, and then the recorded Let's Play stuff will be somewhere in between. But I think the tutorial stuff also comes from wanting to project a confident voice. Because if you're coming to someone to learn something, you want them to have a degree of confidence in what they're expressing. They don't have to be confidently expressing that they're right, just confidently expressing that, just being confident in the way they present. Do I use a script with the tutorials? I usually write a script with the tutorials, then break it down into key points, then start recording and say things completely off the cuff. And then realize that I've said it wrong, go back, redo it, go back, redo it, go back, redo it, and then in the edit, piece together the best way of the ones that can be pieced together. Often it's a single take that is the best, whichever single take happens to be that one. But sometimes it'll be moving bits around, so you might notice my voice changing or being like, does he ever breathe? Because I've had to put stuff together that's on different breaths, and so that can break the flow a little bit. I try to match it up as best I can, or I'll re-say something in post, I'll re-record it. Because tutorials are very much, I want this to be as clean, precise, and easy to follow as I can. I have no qualms in cheating, cheesing, adapting, whatever, to make a tutorial better. Because the important thing with a tutorial is that the person watching it understands the topic by the end. Everything else is secondary. I don't know why I'm hostile to my rover. I wonder if it's because I put these in there? Nope. What did I pick? It couldn't be. It's not the grinders. I don't even have a turret. Do I even have a searchlight? Like, what is even... I don't even have a searchlight. What is even generating that? Like, how? I don't understand how I've achieved this. But what is target? The question... Oh, hang on.
Critical.
Is it because I've right-clicked at some point by accident?
Fuel critical.
Does it change if I move into this? It's targeting me! Something is targeting me, because I just changed cockpits and now it's targeting
Fuel critical.
that one. What? I don't understand where this target is coming from. I don't have any combat blocks. I don't have... It's really weird. That's really strange. I don't even know. Like, I can't even think of what block could be creating that target reticle on me. I don't have an antenna. I've got a CTC. I don't have any defense blocks on, but I just turned the CTC off. And it's not set up to anything anyway. Why have I gotten 3 of the sawmills today? I added a whole bunch of different grids and I've gotten 3 sawmills. I'm pretty sure I got other stuff when I was testing this.
Fuel critical.
Oh no. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I may have done something dumb. I need to check. Where is it? Scrapyard, economy, data, contract types, economy. Dang it! I did screw it up. I disabled all of the other spawns for testing, and I didn't undisable them for playing. Whoops. You guys will find out at some point, probably Monday, why I have a file with something linking to a file called
Fuel
I don't cheat.
critical.
That is something you will learn later. I don't need more than 2 grinders. I'm gonna grind it down. Oh. My loot must be in the cockpit.
Fuel critical.
Well, this is concerning. Hey, there it is.
Fuel critical.
I always get a bit panicky when it's in the last thing. Oh, that was a bit of an explosion.
Inventory full.
Let's get our large steel tubes. Heat types, as a general thing, I'm not going to be providing any health-related stuff on stream just kind of ever. There are a number of reasons why I feel I shouldn't do that. Some of them legal, some of them just a preference thing that that's a job that I'm glad I don't do anymore. Sorry, man. I just that's not a thing I want to get into. Because, as some of you may be aware, I used to be a healthcare worker, and thus have actual potential knowledge about such things. And, yeah. It gets into an area that's not great. But generally speaking, nerve conduction studies, if you trust the doctor that's sending you to them, they're probably there for a reason. I can't think of what reason, but yeah, if you're trusting your health professional, then that's why you go do them. Yeah, I tell Wasted to go see a doctor. I also told Wasted to do a bunch of other things that he's not done. Or to stop doing some things that he continues to do.
Meteor storm inbound.
Yeah, I told him to stop doing a certain thing while his arm was trying to get better, yeah. Whee! I can't even see my trailers! Oh man. I should really change this rover from red to something that doesn't blend in with this terrain. Because I'm really well camouflaged, especially in the dust. Teal! Oh man, that thing was ugly. Am I seeing 100 wheels? I don't think it's 100. How many is it? 2, 5, 7. Then we've got 6 on each of these. So we got... It's 50 wheels. You're seeing 50 wheels? I mean, it's not 100, but it's a lot. Oh. The comment on teal was not about teal being a bad color. It was about me painting an entire rover in teal and using way too much of it that was the bad bit. Teal itself is fine. Every color is fine. You just have to use it the right way. And I did not. No, the night and spiders are very much on. Oh. That's not right. I have discovered the secret traders. I shouldn't be getting those spawns at all. Yeah, I did a series where I built an entire... Oh, wait a second. Is that moving? That is moving towards me. That is moving towards me. And that's a Wasteland Tire Thieves thing. Oh man, I gotta get around this thing. That's bad. That's genuinely, potentially, really bad. No tree, don't stop me. Let me get around here. I want to check out this base that shouldn't exist, because I should have stopped it from being able to spawn. It appears to be up on that hill. I think the vehicle... Yeah, I'm making some distance on it now. Good, 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 good. Nice sweeping corners. Nothing too aggressive. Tapping A, gradually turning left. Whoa! Huh, I survived that boulder. Cool. That has a turret on top of it. I had definitely stopped these from being able to spawn. But this one... Just want to check if this is a Wasteland Tire Thieves thing. This is a vanilla one. Oh, why are these spawning again? I'd stopped you. Alright, gonna have to figure out why that's not working. Why is the rover so long when there's nothing on the trailers? Because the trailers are part of a plan to make a much larger rover. They're going to be the bogies for a large grid rover. So I need to make the bogies first, and because I'm on the move, made them as trailers. Well, I don't know how that one spawned. But there it is. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Kamok. Road train is fun. Why do I sense a Jawa sandcrawler in your future? I've never made one, but it's a design that... Like, I feel like you could make work. And could be quite fun to put together. 29Ks, backwards 7Ks. Sort of tempted to go back, but I also know that that Wasteland Tire Thieves vehicle's back that way, so I think I'm going to just continue on. Oh, it handled that better than I thought it would. There was some definite air underneath everything just then. Would be incredibly top heavy, I would think. Well, I mean, unless you make like the living space at the top, so all the lightweight stuff's at the top and all the heavy stuff's down the bottom, you could probably make it work. Why are Wasteland Tire Thieves melee? I don't know why they've chosen to put them as the military faction rather than the WTTS, which is their usual faction. I don't know. It's weird. I need to find more things that have wheels so I can get more large steel tubes. I'm kind of impressed that I had enough large steel tubes to get even this many tires built. But I would like some more. You need to join the tire thieves. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, Vesic, when you accidentally wrote WTF instead of WTT for Wasteland Tire Thieves, I didn't even bat an eyelid because I was just like, oh, well, I guess, I don't know which English accent it is, but I was just thinking, yeah, Wasteland Tire Thieves. And now I want to watch, well, Snatch and Lockstock. And I should eat something. Green pellets. Delicious. Oh, base runner wreckage. Oh! I wonder if it's my save file that I had to reset. That's why I'm getting more tire thieves. And also the random spawns. Maybe. mean, we could check out the base runner wreckage, why not? Worst case, I wipe myself out of the game completely. No, I think the Wasteland Tire Thieves would be better voiced by Zoc than Wasted. I don't need to beep either over. There's been enough autosaves in the last bits. It'll be fine. I'll stop. Back far enough that I can maybe take out the guns. Oh, there's a prowler. Stop. Stop. Stop.
Fuel critical.
Okay, let's get some health. Let's see what happens. Make sure I'm not carrying anything I don't need to. Now, what is this prowler gonna do? What's it got on it? And can I make it follow me into the Craggies? I don't think the cheese is gonna be any use here. Oh boy. It's very close. It is very close. Save me, Craggies, you're my only hope. Woo! Jeez. Oop. No, not my truck. Whoop! That's targeting me now. Okay, I think it's grinder time. Okay, assault cannon turret dealt with. Let's go check out the damage on my rover. Was that worth it? There's a lot of fire. I mean, I got a bunch of wheels. Ah, the hydrogen tank is on fire. That's not ideal, but... And we lost a medium cargo. And I lost a grinder. But overall... I think... Whoa! What the... There's another one?
Low health.
I mean, dealing with one of these I was fine with, but two? I think I'm dead. Oh, assault cannon. I mean, yeah, assault? No. Auto cannon. Now I gotta check the damage again. Yeah, I saw that was my medium cargo replacement. Oh, of course the spiders are back now. Is there a new one inbound? No, just the spiders. O2H2. So H2 gen is on fire. That's repaired. Nope, still no more new threats. O2H2 generator on fire. We got? Oh, I've got none of my large steel tubes. Let's just check again. Is there any new damage? No, I think we're still at the original damage. So nothing new. Alright. Let's go take out the spawn, which is going to be the base runner. And then I might have actually gotten something good out of this. Did I lose lots of hydrogen? Possibly. It's not terrible if I did. Oh, that's bad. I lost my survival kit.
Fuel critical.
Yet somehow didn't lose my cockpit. I don't even know what to do now. Survival kit kind of ends the run. I'd have to find one? Yeah, I lost my MMOS script. The thing about the MMOS script, I might do a save as, so I can go back and get the setup. That certainly makes any desire to go in to fight them disappear. I'm not going to go after their base. But I might try and get what I can from these rovers. Because going after their base when I have no survival kit is just dumb. I mean, yeah, unless one of these cars has a survival kit that I can take. But I think I just literally went in and attacked these guys without a survival kit. The second rover, when I went in up against it, I had no survival kit. So that could have gotten very bad. I'm on a permadeath run now. Yeah! Maybe time to arm the rover? You know what? Yes! It's also a good reason to go for large grid. So this one has a battery. So that'll replace one of the batteries I lost. It's got 12 million gyroscopes. Which I'm going to need some of, but not all of. To replace some of mine. Might bring the truck closer. I'm just a bit worried about... Oh, where'd that gyro go? Just a bit worried about bringing it any closer in case something else spawns. I might have a small chance of getting away this time. Yeah, the base runner base I think I've run into before and it was not friendly. It was not something I wanted to be dealing with. Oh, I haven't lost all my gyros, just one of them. So I might just landing gear lock this down for now. Oop, not like that. That's my 2 gyros done. Then... let's see what else we can grab from that rover. And then I need to get my medium cargo back. But I will check that other rover to see if it had a survival kit, because this one definitely didn't. Gyros have large tubes? I think so. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So let's go check this out. Pretty sure this doesn't have a survival kit either. Their base might, but I'm pretty sure these rovers don't. Yeah. Now let's get the cargo. Can I pop the cargo out? With any degree of ease? Not really. Like, going up against these guys is a really good reason to go large grid, because you'll get got much better weapon options in large grid. Oh yeah, I didn't finish cleaning up the drop box, did I, from the lost cargo? I should do that before I lose those parts.
Fuel critical.
Yes, yes, Suit Lady, my fuel is critical, I know. I'm trying to decide whether this went in my favor or not. Because I definitely got more large steel tubes for my planned expansion, but for what it cost me, particularly the survival kit, oof. I'm thinking no. Seems like a draw. Yeah. If I hadn't lost the survival kit, I think I'd feel a lot better about this. Can I get this in there? Don't know whether Space Engineers will let me put this in there. Because it is the exact same size as the hole. Oh. Yes. 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 There we go. Sweet. That's all fixed up now. Excellent. And now let's go have a look at those vehicles and see what I want to bring. I think I want to grab one of the batteries, but maybe I don't really need to. Oh, and I should just quickly check. How many medical components have I bothered to collect? Because I've been a bit lazy on that front. I've got one there. 2, 3, 6. Oh, I've got 8 of them. So if I find 2 survival kits, I think I'll put like one, I put them in different spots. One of the things I should mention, because I know a lot of people have asked me about it, the new version of Scrapyard does have large grid survival kits to be found. So you will be able to have just normal integrated into your large grid base survival kits. Now, reactors. Kind of want to take them. Tiny bit of uranium in them. Alright, I'm bringing the truck closer. This is getting silly. This is too far to walk, carrying all these blocks. Oh, wait. Oh no, I need another programmable block before I can use the crane. I was like, I should be using the crane to do this because I could just pick up the whole car and sort this out later, but no. I've lost my programmable block. I have lost my crane. Oh, you guys wanted me to drive closer so that you could see me fail to get out of here, didn't you? Oh no, I've lost my event controller so my ramp didn't go up either. And I've lost my button for the ramp too. Ah. Really? How rude. Nope. Hinge. Tractor ram hinge. Reverse.
Fuel critical.
Right. Oh! I have lost an O2H2 gen on the ground.
Critical.
Sort that out in a minute. I can't jump up from here. What's still smoking by that wheel? The wheel itself is smoking. The wheel has taken damage, as in the subgrid part of the wheel has taken damage, and so that wheel is smoking.
Fuel critical.
Can't wait to see your reverse out. Yeah, that's exactly what I realized as soon as I looked at where this one was, and I'm like, oh, I should drive in there. No. No, I do not drive in there. I drive nearer, but not in there. Alright, let's see what else is in here. The rover likes you again. It doesn't think I'm an enemy. Yeah. Let's get the stuff out of these guns. Particularly including the ammo. Then I'm just going to get the large steel tubes out of these gyros. That's way more gyros than I can be bothered dealing with. And this has a medium cargo too. Can I? Nope. Did not get out as easily as I hoped. I wonder if I can pull it out now. Yep. Nice. Oh, Splitsy, what sort of malevolent sadists do you think we are? Not denying it, just want to know which type. I mean, this is probably a like attracts like situation. So I don't really want to comment for fear of incriminating myself. I might want a battery, I'm just not sure I want this battery. Especially as I have to carve it out, because I'm not going to be able to hack it. You go away. Nope, wrong thing. Okay. Uh-oh. Um... So that happened? I think my truck was still my respawn truck too. I, hmm. I'm gonna do this just to see whether my other rover is gone. Spinny spin spin. Body location, 38 kilometers that way, okay. Oh, my truck's still there. Maybe losing the survival kit was actually the thing that saved the truck on respawn then. Now I'm torn, because now that I know that it's actually there, I'm like, should I now be teleporting myself back to wherever this rover was and have to do that journey to get back here? Or do I just... Now I'm like, hey, I've got a survival kit. Because I kind of... Oh no, I don't have any tools. Don't have any tools. Ah! This is gonna hurt. Ow.
Health low.
Whew. Okay. Alright. I don't want to lose the stuff that was on my body for a clangy death. Like, particularly my tools is just annoying. My thinking is just roll with it, and this is what I've got, and I've got to try and... There's a programmable block on here, so I can rebuild the crane. There's a survival kit, so the crane can then be used to put the survival kit somewhere. And then we can try and take out that Wasteland Tire Thieves base. Like an exhausted parent tried talking to the kid. I'm afraid, Splitsy, you will need to live with the consequences of your actions. Time to drive back. I kind of want to drive back, but where I want to spawn... So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to teleport, but we're going to teleport not here. And I'm also just going to create a GPS here because I want to make sure I can find my way back. We're going to go to the trade station. Apparently I still have a parachute, even though I can't see it. But I gotta make it from the trade station back to my rover, see if I can collect anything useful along the way, see if I can avoid getting into range of the enemy that I know is right near my rover, and do all that without it all going horribly, horribly wrong. One of the nice things about this respawn, though, is now I've got a tier 1 grinder again. A basic level grinder. Which is going to be handy for hacking the batteries and such. Because I threw mine away because I forgot what it was needed for. But I figured the trade station was the best spot because I didn't remember where on the planet at all I was. And it's a nice, convenient spot. Data pad? It does have a data pad. Lorentz Point. Where is Lorentz Point? Let's find out. Lorentz Point is 48 kilometers that way. Oh, actually, here we go. Better plan. No, don't do that. No, don't do that either. That's the wrong thing. That's that. You guys get to choose. Which trade station? Which trade station to start at? We have Gilman Station, which is where I'm at right now. Or Lorentz Point, which is the new one. And you know what? Let's make it a silly vote with meat shields. There we go. So the Lorentz Point is 48 k's that way. We need some speed on these wheels. No option to spawn back on rig? No, because I lost my survival kit. I mean, I kind of like the idea of respawning at Lorentz Point because it does mean I'll get to experience the start of the game again with my new updates to the mod, so we'll get a bit of an idea of the balance before I finally get to my truck, and then it's back to building the cool stuff again. And I don't mind starting further away at all. And now people are trying to make it so I have to make the choice. You monsters. You know polls are there so that I don't have to choose, right? It's my own fault for putting channel points in. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, James. If by making the trip, I've earned the survival kit and the tools. So I've earned what I get from this. Now, obviously, for the sake of this being a live stream thing, I'm happy to keep the stuff that I picked up off my corpse. Especially if I died to gunfire, I think I would be less inclined to keep that stuff. But because I died to stepping on something, I think it's fair. And you guys have chosen 521 votes to 405 that I shall be on my way to Lorentz Station, which is the new station. Lorentz Point. And I will have to make my way from there. Which is great, because that's kind of the choice I would have made myself. That is exactly the choice I would have made if I didn't have a poll for that. Because I think the fact that I'm now nearly 50 kilometers from, 58 kilometers from where my rover is, means I'll find stuff along the way. I'll be able to do stuff. I may have to outrun the night. There's going to be a bunch of things. I'll probably head for Gilman first and then go from there. But, conveniently for me, keep the inventory but put it in the train rover. Oh, Neon God, that's not a bad idea. That's actually where I'm going to wrap things up for this week. Which means I like this as a starting point for the next week. It's my journey back. I'll take all my inventory and I'll go shove it in the truck so that I don't have it. And we'll just be back to standard stuff. So it's a fresh-ish start for next time. Next week, however, next Saturday, which is what it is for me right now, will be Shaq and I trying out the Scrap Mechanic 1.0. So we won't be doing this scrap, but we're still doing scrap. Some scrap. So we'll be doing that next week. Then Shaq and I will, depending on how that goes, Shaq and I will talk about when we're doing things, and then I'll know when this series will return. But I actually really like this position that I'm in, so you can be sure this is coming back. Just when, might be 2 weeks, probably. But yeah, that's, that's the plan. So next weekend will be Scrap Mechanic with Shaq. Tomorrow is Space Engineers with Shaq, and then some more Vintage Story. then yes, scrap mechanic. I'm going to try and find some time to do some other stuff, but at the moment with doing the 2 single-player edited series on the Splitzy YouTube channel, I don't have a huge amount of free open slots for doing more streams, but I would like to do some more stuff soon. So I'll try and fit that in somewhere, because I want to do stuff like X4, I want to do stuff like more of this, just loads of things. Too many things I want to do, not enough time. Any chance of returning to Out of Ore? At some point, yes, I would like to do that with Capac. I want to play Out of Ore with Capac. And probably just he and I, not getting in all the interns, at least for a few weeks. I mean, if Frosty's around, then the 3 of us, but I think just keeping it as a small group, so that there's less cat herding required by me, so that I can just enjoy playing the game a bit more. Out of Ore's gotten a bunch of updates, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with some more stuff, and I will see you all then. Have a good one, everyone. Bye!